The first one amongst the many I like to talk about is envy. Envy. What is envy? Envy is a feeling of discontent, with regard to another's advantage, success, skills, or possessions. That feeling of discontent. A leader has absolutely no reason to be envious of the people under him or her or with him or her. It's actually ridiculous for you to be envious. Here is why. Being a leader doesn't mean that you are the best in everything. Not at all. You are just privileged by virtue of a number of factors to be the one in charge. As a matter of fact, you can actually be the first among equals, equally gifted, graced, endowed, but somebody has to lead, so you are just the leader. Even if you think you are too endowed over and above the people under you, there are still dimensions in all of these people you don't possess. A tree never makes a forest. Never forget that. And as a leader, you need the abilities, the creativity, the endowment, the skills each of the people that come to you possess to translate your vision into reality or higher levels of performance. That is why it's going to be ridiculous for you to be envious of people who have come alongside with you to make what you are pursuing come to pass. So envy is a no-no. There's absolutely no room for envy, because as a leader, you are the boss. You know the way it is. At the end of the day, when people are going to look at the success of your organization, to a large extent, they are going to look to you while you as a smart leader, will deflect praise to your people. That's why John Maxwell says that everything rises and falls on leadership. So it's important for you to understand that there is no room for envy. Let me read two scriptures for you. In the book of Acts chapter 7 and verse number 9, the Bible talks about how the patriarchs, moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt. Ridiculous. Here was a Joseph who was determined, who was gifted, who was destined to be their savior, to be their helper, to be their benevolent support base. And they sold him out. That's the irony of a leader being envious, because you end up literally stopping yourself. You end up diminishing yourself. No, if you struggle with envy, you've got to find a way to deal with it, because it's just going to keep reducing you until you become a chaff. It become not important anymore to the people that you lead. In the book of Proverbs chapter 14 verse 30, Solomon the wise man explains why envy is dangerous. He says, envy is the rottenness of the bones. The rottenness of the bones. Literally, the structure of a human being is sustained by the bones. So when the bone is rotting, what it automatically means is that bone, that skeletal structure, can no longer hold the person. And so that person is likely going to fall apart. So the implication of that is that when there is envy within an organization, the structure that holds that organization is going to be over time depleted to the degree that it can no longer hold. Because envy is going to cause a scattering. It's going to cause people to retreat into their shell and refuse to bring out that thing that is making them to be exceptional. Otherwise, they will opt out of the organization.